For the final build video in the truck camper series, I'm adding one last upgrade, a 100-watt flexible solar panel. I wanted to keep the install as low profile as possible while minimizing wind resistance and giving me enough solar power to keep my EcoFlow lithium battery topped off whenever the truck is parked. I'll walk through the entire setup, installation, and how everything comes together to finish off the camper build. To mount the panel, I'm using some 3M VHB tape around the perimeter of the backside. This gives me a strong, secure bond without having to drill any additional holes into the roof of the camper. I made sure to leave a couple of small gaps along the rear-facing edge. That way, any moisture or condensation that gets underneath the panel has a place to escape. This will definitely help prevent moisture from getting trapped underneath and causing the panel to bubble over time. Before mounting the panel, I made sure to clean the roof off with some Windex, that way the tape had a good clean surface to adhere to. This will give it the strongest bond possible. Once I had the panel lined up with the edges of the camper, I pulled the backing of the tape off and carefully pressed the panel into place. If you enjoy this kind of DIY content, make sure you go ahead and subscribe so you can follow along with all the projects I have coming up. The next thing I needed to figure out was installing the cable gland for the solar panel wires to pass through the camper roof. The gland gives the wires a clean entry point. That way they're sealed and clear of any water or moisture from getting inside. Similar to the solar panel, I went back to my roll of VHB tape to mount and seal the cable gland. Before I could mount the gland, I needed to line everything up and drill a couple of holes through the roof for the solar cables to pass through. The key here is to start with a smaller drill bit and gradually work your way up to the larger sizes until the hole is just wide enough for the cable. Taking it slow here really helps reduce the chance of cracking or chipping the fiberglass and overall keeps things a lot cleaner. The best way I've found to figure out which size drill bit you need is holding the cable up next to it just to see if the profile fits the size. One thing worth mentioning is that I laid a tarp down inside the truck bed directly below where I was drilling. That way, any shavings that fell through the hole were easy to catch and clean up afterwards. Since the solar cables have fairly bulky connectors on the end of them, I decided the easiest option for me was to cut them first, pass the wires through the roof, and then reconnect everything once they were on the other side. From there, I fed the cables through the gland and down through the holes that I drilled. Thankfully, the solar cables that are attached to this panel are pretty heavy duty, so even though they have to make a fairly tight 90-degree bend as they pass through the roof, I shouldn't have to worry about them cracking or breaking down over time. To keep the cables secure and the installation as low profile as possible, I added a couple of zip tie anchors to hold everything tight against the roof and keep the wires from moving around. Once the cables were routed and secured, it was time to press the cable gland firmly into place on the roof. To keep everything watertight, the gland has a couple of threaded fittings that tighten around each of the cables. Now it was time to head inside of the camper to splice the connectors back onto the cables. I started off by stripping about an inch of insulation from each of the ends and then fanned out the exposed strands so I could then press the wires together to get a connection. Next, it was time to break out the soldering iron and make the connection a little more permanent. I made sure to put a generous amount of solder down here, especially considering all the vibration and movement that comes with having this system mounted in a truck camper. And here's a look at the finished splice work. All that's left to do now is slide the heat shrink over the splice and hit it with the heat gun to seal everything up and give me a protected connection. Here's a final look at everything connected to the EcoFlow battery. The smart alternator charger is going to handle the faster charging while I'm driving, and the solar panels should really help extend my battery life enough to keep the fridge running for another day or two, which can make a big difference. And that officially wraps up this camper build series. I'm very satisfied with how everything came together, and now it's time to put it all to use with a road trip. Really appreciate everybody following along, and I'll see you in the next one.